Hey, I hope you're doing well. Just quick little, I was just doing some editing here and preparing a tiebreaker between Tsitsipas and Nadal from this past year's Australian Open. And I cut out, which I do constantly, but for whatever reason, this kind of popped into my head today. I cut out all the time in between points because I was just looking to analyze something specific about their movement during points. And the tiebreaker itself took 6 minutes from beginning to end, the actual, full play time. Take a guess how much time the ball was actually in play. Uh, just go ahead and pick a number in your head. So the actual like broadcast time, or the time that they were doing everything, the in-between point time when the ball was in play, was 6 minutes for a tiebreaker. Tsitsipas won at 7-5, I believe. I think that was the final score. Let me see here. Of course, I'm blocking it perfectly. Yeah, 7-4. So they played 11 points. Tsitsipas won 7-4. 6 minutes total time. Like the broadcast time was 6 minutes, the full tiebreak. And the ball was in play. They were actually playing tennis for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I did the math on it real quick. That's 25%, about 25% of the tiebreaker time, they were actually playing points. So the big implication here, a takeaway, is what are you doing? What are your habits during this 75% of time that the ball is not in play? What's your what's your plan? What is your response? What is your headspace like during that time? Do you have a method of resetting mentally? Do you have a method of resetting physically? Like if 75% of the time your body's not actually doing anything and you're just kind of walking to the other side or getting the ball or whatever, what are you doing during that period of time to calm your body? What are you doing during that period of time to calm your mind? What are you doing during that period of time to refocus and kind of plan for the next point? So in a micro sense, like in the moment, what's happening? How are you managing it? In a macro sense, what's happening? What's the momentum of the match? What are you like winning easily or losing easily, or is it really close and really tight? And depending on all those variables, you might use that 75% of your time completely differently. If you're rolling and the momentum is all with you, then there might not be a whole lot going on up there. It might just be rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. If it's a blowout in the other direction, then there might be a whole lot of stuff going on in terms of like different tactics, different targets, different patterns you could be trying. If you're struggling physically, then using that 75% as effectively as possible to calm your body, lower your heart rate, get ready physically for the next point is super key. If you're not being very challenged at all, then it doesn't really matter. Kind of do whatever's comfortable, right? And you don't have to worry about maximizing that time. So anyway, as I'm talking through this, I'm almost kind of realizing like, this is the big kind of implication or idea that 75% of the time during tennis, you're not playing tennis. So what are you doing? Yeah, kind of question number one. And then to drill down a little bit, what are you doing mentally? I just gave you some ideas and thoughts. What are you doing physically? I just gave you some ideas and thoughts. And how can you optimize or maximize for that time so that you can be the best tennis player possible? This might be like a course. This might be a program that I put together. I'm totally just spitballing here and realizing that A, it's really big. B, it doesn't get talked about a whole lot. C, I can't think of, except for Jim Loehr. Those of you who have been around for a long time, Dr. Jim Loehr is a sports psychologist, or is it psychiatrist? I can never remember which is which. Probably psychologist, sports psychologist, and has done a lot of incredible. He was, I think, most popular like in the 80s, maybe into the 90s, and he's created some incredible resources. He's written a lot of books, and he had a book, I believe the title was it 20-Second Cure or something like that? Jim, I can never remember how to spell his name. That's the only like kind of complete comprehensive resource I can think of about the time in between, points. I'm not coming up with it right away. The 24-second cure. Let me see if I can find it for you really quick. 24-second cure. No, I'm not finding it right away. But anyway, I just want to make sure to kind of give a shout out, like credit. Like Jim Loehr is the only person I'm aware of that's created like a complete resource on this, which is kind of crazy because again, 75% of the time on the court, you better have some kind of awareness and or plan to use that time effectively. So just something top of mind for me, and the editing work today, editing work that I'm doing just really was a perfect illustration of that, an example of that. So just thought I'd pass it on. Give it some thought yourself, and keep up the good work on your game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. I'll be in touch again really soon.